Hi guys, it's Crystal. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you guys how to create these super cute labels with your Cricut Maker for your soaps. Now you can do the same concept for your candles, your lotions, bubble bars, whatever you may do and make and sell. So I'm going to show you guys how to get these, to design these, as well as showing you how to apply them, just like this. Okay. Also, I will be linking the file down below so you guys can use that if you want to just go ahead and replace what I have here and just use the same file. Now, this is 8 by 2 for the paper that I cut it down to, and that's what works for my size of soap. And my soaps are about 1 inch thick. So if your soaps are 1 inch thick, then this should work for you. If not, you can just always adjust it a little bit. So, okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go ahead and create this label right here. Now, I am going to share this link down below. So if you don't want to recreate this and you just want to use this one, you could just come in here and change what kind of soap it is and all your information here, and you can change your ingredients and just play with it like that. Just make sure before you go to make it, you select all of it and hit attach. Now, whenever you go to save this project again, before you exit out, if you want to leave your information in place, make sure you detach it before you save, because if you save it as attached, I don't think you'll be able to unattach it, and then you wouldn't be able to change all those later. So make sure each time that's what you do if you're going to use this file. So let me go ahead and show you how to create your own file if you want to do that. And you don't have to use these just for soaps. You can use these for doing shampoo or lotions or your candles, whatever. You just figure out which size you need and work with that. Okay, so let me go ahead. So we're going to start with a square. All right, we're going to move this up here. The first thing we're going to do is change it to white. Makes it easier to work with. So then I'm going to unlock that. I'm going to change this. I want it to be 8 by 2. So that's what worked for me. So that's what I did. So, and this will work basically on a 1 inch, I believe they're about 1 inch, maybe a little bit bigger than 1 inch, but that's what this worked on. And you can always just print out one of these to just test it to see if it's going to work for you. If not, you'll just need to lengthen it. You just grab it and make it a little bit bigger. All right, so let me undo that. All right, so we've got our shape here. It's locked back. Next thing we're going to do is I'm going to create this small little line right here. I got another square. All right, so let's say I want that to be, because it can't be longer than, say, I'm going to do 2.6. So we need it to be 2.6. And then what I do for the height is I do 0.01 to make a real thin line. First thing I'm going to do is come over here, and I'm going to change that to right, because that's going to be something that's writing. So I'm going to change that right away. Then I'm going to grab it. These are always a little bit silly and hard to grab. So let me see if I can't get control of it. These smaller ones are always so silly. All right, so let's see if I can't. There we go. So then I kind of figure out where I need it to be. So I've got kind of measure out my soap to see where the front is, to see where I need this to be my side. So say I'm happy with that. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, so I'm going to do my font. So the word Cherry Almond, I did an Arab brushstroke STD regular. The Artisan soap, I did in Baskersville, and so is all this information here. These ones right here is a Little Sunshine. I did download these from devfont.com, so I'm not too sure if these will come through in the Cricut design space or not. If they don't, you can always just change this to, like, say, the same font over here or any font you want to use and just fill that in. Okay, so if you guys have a problem with this file because of that, let me know and I'll come in and change this to a different font and just resave it, and then I'll relink it. Okay, so let's move on. We're going to get our text out. I'm going to type in Cherry Almond. Almond. All right. And then I'm going to bring this down to where I need it to be. Something about like that for now. Because I need it to be in between this line that we created. So I'm going to bring it in. I like to be about 2.5 for this. All right, because I did that 2.6, so something like that. Now I'm going to come up and change this. What did I say that was again? Arab. Okay, so we're going to come up. I already know what it is. And you don't have to do these fonts. This is just what I used because I like to fill these in. So I've changed that, and immediately I'm going to come back over here, change that to a right. The only thing that's going to be a cut is the outline. So the next thing is the Artisan, and that is Baskersville. So I'm going to come in and get another text. I'm going to do Artisan soap. Okay. And then I'm going to bring this down. Yeah, about like that. Bring it back up here. And I'm going to change that to Baskersville. Alright, let's see if I can find it. Right there. Alright, and then I'm going to immediately change that as well to a write file. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and move this around just like this. I can actually bring it a little bit bigger. So about like that. So say I'm happy with that. Alright, just kind of getting it lined up. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is my Handmade by Crystal. I'm not going to fill all this information in. I'm just going to kind of basically show you how I centered this. I'm going to show you how I centered that. So let's see. Handmade by, and then do my dots here. And then CrystalAnn. Alright, and then I'm going to shrink this down so I can see what I'm working with here. Alright, double click that back open. Alright, so I'm going to hit enter because I want, oh, let me make sure my font. Okay, I'm going to hit enter because I want to come to the line down. And then I'm going to do YouTube, do my dots. I'm going to do CrystalAnn, CrystalAnn. Alright, enter, let's say Etsy. My Etsy shop is rustic mugs. Okay, just like that. Now that's enough so I can show you. I did line spacing. So I came up here to line spacing and I brought this in so it looked a lot better. So I'm going to bring this back in. And I may actually be spacing that out. Let me make sure what I'm doing here. Nope, I was going the right direction. So I'm just kind of bringing these in. And I'm going to go ahead and come over here to alignment. I'm going to center. That's how you get them centered, just like that. And I want to bring my line spacing in just a little bit more. Alright, so just say I was happy with that. But that's how you would do your line spacing. And I'll drop this right down here. Alright, so then my ingredients, I came over. I'm going to go to text. And I'm going to go ingredients. Alright, then I'm going to come up here to a little sunshine. Alright, and like I said, this is a font that I got from deaffonts.com. And I showed you guys on my last video how to do that. And I'll leave the link down below to this font so that way you guys can find it right away onto fonts if you don't have it. Alright, oop, I keep moving that. No. Sometimes these are like particular to grab. Okay, so say I know exactly where my back is going to be. I just need this little bit of a lip to put my, to put over. So I'm just getting it over like that. And say that looks good to me. I would come back, get another text, and then I would start typing in my ingredients. Like I would do, I'm not going to do all of them. I'm just going to show you how I did it. All right, sweet almond, and then comma, canola oil, comma, and then I hit enter at that point, and then I did olive oil, comma, coconut. Oh my gosh, that is not what I spelled. Oh my lord. I hate to, because sometimes, like I'm telling you, this design space is so funny today, it's all over the place. If I push backspace, it goes too much. Alright, olive oil. Okay, so coconut oil, comma, then comma, and then you have castor, oh my gosh, this is not going so well today. Okay, castor oil, comma, and then I entered, let me do one more, okay, palm oil, comma, and you would just keep going forward. Now I did the same thing. You're going to, let me do this, let me bring this in, alright, and then you're going to do the same thing. I would come to alignment, I would center, so that way they're more like this. And then I would grab this little guy and move it up here. And then making sure I'm staying whatever the size of my back. So I stayed within like 2.3 on this one. Because I think both sides is like 2.5. So I wanted to stay in with that. So just kind of move that in just a little bit. Oop. That's right. I'll move that around. Okay. So say that this is, I had this all just 100% how I wanted it, like this. So then what you're going to do is you would select it all. Oh, wait, hold on. I don't think I changed these. Let me change these. So these, you got to make sure that these are right. Make sure this one's right. All right, is a right file. And then this one right here, let me make sure I did that one too, just to be sure. All right, I'll change that to right. Now I believe I already did this one. All right, so everything is right. Let me double check this one. Yes. Okay, so once everything is to right except for the whole outside, just pay attention to this because I didn't do that the first time and it cut right through it. So then you're going to select all of it like that. You're going to hit attach. So now it's all attached when you move it around. And then say you need to make 20 of these, you would just duplicate it like this. So say you had 20 of the same kind. Then you would go to, let me go ahead and attach. Let me delete this one. Hold on. Delete. Let me attach this guy so I can show y'all. All right, attach. All right, so your next step, you're going to go to make it. Now, if you're doing a bunch of these, give this just a minute. It takes a minute since it's so much writing to kind of get it all on here. So just give it a few minutes. So this is what it'll look like on your mat. So I like to use the 8.5 by 11, but if you were doing a ton, you could do a 12 by 12. So that way, if you needed it to be longer, like 11 or something like that, 11 inches long, you could do a 12 by 12 sheet. But it would just line them up like this for you. So I'd come over here to material if I was using 8.5 by 11, change it here, and then that way it would be lined up just like that, and then you would go to make it. Now if you want to, you could always do the 2 times the speed, so that way it will do it a whole lot faster, because this is time consuming because it's a lot of writing, but you can do it 2 times the speed. Make sure that you store your pens upside down so that way your ink is all towards the tip. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and save this file for you guys so that way you guys can use this, but if you want to create it yourself, that's how you would do it. And you know, just get creative. You could always also do little characters on here. I also was thinking if you moved all your fonts over and you had a stamped images that you wanted to stamp on here, you could always stamp it here. So now let's go ahead and get these cut out and go put these labels on. Okay, so now that you have all your labels cut out, the next step that you're going to do is you're going to take your soap and you're going to put your label right on top just like this, just kind of lining it up where you want it to be, and then start to fold. And then I flip it to make sure everything's lined up where it needs to be before I really make a crease. So about like that. I'll come back, check the front. And fold the other side just like this. Then, once I have my little lines ready, I'll go ahead and fold them over and just score them. Take your bone folder and just mark these down. Just like that. And then you have your little casing. Just like that. So you'll take it back, test it out. And then what you're going to do is then you'll add your glue or adhesive right here and have it close just like that. Now, if all of your bars are exactly the same size, like you have one of the fancy little cutters that's going to cut these the exact same size, you could go ahead and do this. You can then take your scoring tool. I've had this one for a long time. It's the Martha Stewart. You can take your, I'm going to see where I scored these at. So I'd get it all lined back up. All right. Making sure everything's laying flat just like that. And then I would go ahead and mark. So I know that's where I need to do one there. I'm going to know I have a mark here. Then I have a mark here. And a mark here. All right. So then I can take and run my tool down on all these marks. Just like that. So then it'd be easier to just sit there and do all of those at one time, just like that, so you could have it all measured out. And you can look at your measurements and everything so you can make sure, I messed one, but that's okay. You can make sure that everything's lined up where it needs to be, if that makes sense. All right. And you could just make all those at one time. Now, if you're like me and I don't have one of those fancy cutters, all of mine aren't perfectly identical. So I just sit here and I just kind of fold them around each one. So now your next step is, like I said, you're going to go ahead and take, I like to do it on this end flap here. Go ahead and take your little tape runner or whatever double-sided adhesive you're going to use. Get it wrapped around. Aligning it just right, like that. And I like to take my bone folder and seal that glue real good. And there it is. So then your next step is you can actually do all of these papers before you get started. I like to go ahead, let me zoom you in here. I like to go ahead and take, like this one did an outline. I like to go ahead and fill it in so I figure out what color I'm using, and right here I'm using just a gel pen. And I just go through here and fill all these open spaces in just like this. And you don't have to do font like this to where it's open. And you can always just fill it in with plain black, just whatever you wanted to do. But I like it with the glitter, so it looks like this. So these are some of the other ones. So this one is a mint chocolate chip, so I colored it in. I don't think the camera's picking it up, but that's actually a green. And then this one I did a purple for the black raspberry vanilla. And then for the Sun-Kissed Cocoa, I used the gold pen from Cricut to fill those in. I like the way that that came out. And then that's the same one that I just did. So I just like to use my glitter pen. And this is just a jelly roll. And it is in Clear Star is what this is. And I've had this for a long time. So I just used that for those. And then the cherry almond, I didn't have a red for the Cricut, so I just used a Sharpie pen. You just want something that has like a real fine point like this. I don't know if you guys will be able to see that. Just a fine point like that. So I just use like one's a Cricut one. And I just use the fine point. Okay, so that's what the back looks like, just like that. So I have all my ingredients just like that, and then you'll have your little thing on the front. And I'm gonna go ahead and share this file, so I showed you guys how to do that. The file will be linked down below, so you guys can see, so you guys can use this and just change your names and then change your ingredients. So, but whenever, like I explained before, make sure that each time you save it with it detached, so it don't get stuck like that, so you can change your labels and stuff. So these are my soaps, just to show you a cute little glance, just like this. And sorry about my hands, this is all the inking from doing everything. But this one is a cherry almond. Then you have the mint. This is just like, this has got sprinkles of coffee grounds on top, and it helps bring out that cocoa. But this is what the insides look like, just in case you guys were curious, like that. And I have these listed on Etsy. I just recently uploaded these, so if you guys are interested, I'll have the link down below for that as well. So that's that one. Okay, so now for the cupcakes, I tried to design something for the cupcakes, and I was gonna do it for the bottoms. So I would need a 1.5 inch circle, and I tried to put my ingredients on here, and it's just too small. Let me show you what the Cricut did. I tried using the fine tip, which has the F on the back. That is this one right here. And then their gel pen, which is like more like an ink pen. Let's see if, like an ink pen. That's what this did right here. So it's just too tiny. So I'm gonna have to figure out something else. I think I may print out some sort of like cupcake wrappers. I'm gonna go look on Cricut and see if I can't write something that would just pop on the bottom base of this. If not, then I'm just going to include a little paper with these in like in a little gift box type thing. So these are my soaps, and I put like confetti in these ones, the cupcake ones. So anyways, but I did try to do those. So let me go ahead and I'm going to show you guys this a couple more times here so you guys can see what we got going on. Let me back it back out a little bit. All right. So if you were just folding it on, you would figure out, and normally I'm a lot more precise with this, but since I'm doing it on video, but I figure out where I need to crease these. And I like to try to pay attention to the back as well because you got your ingredients. So that seems okay. It's not falling over the sides or anything. And I like to kind of get it lined up as best as I can and then kind of push on these corners to get a real good crease so I can see all my little crease lines. Then, like I said, I get them lined up really good, making sure they're lined up. And take your bone folder and crease that, and then fold down the next piece and crease it as well. All right, and then crease that and this. Now you could do the same concept. I always like to throw that in so you guys know. If you don't have a Cricut or anything, you could always do the same concept of designing this on like Word or something like that. And just use a bunch of dash lines, because when you do that, it will just create a line. So you can always do that. Print these out and then on paper, and then just use your paper trimmer. So you could always do that as well. So you can design these yourself. So just like that. And once I get it ready, I'll come back with my tape runner and get that really good there. Get my soap all laid down. And make sure you pay attention to which side you want to stick this on. Which side you want it to be your front, which side you want it to be your back. And then, like I said, I just kind of really try to push that glue into each other. And just like that. And then I would fill this in with whatever. But like I said, you could always do the filling in part before you put them on your soaps. So it really just doesn't matter whichever you want to do. So I'm going to do another one the same way. And I'm going to just fold these over. And that looks good to me. So I'm going to kind of crease it as much as possible. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and take my bone folder again. Alright, get that all pushed out. And we got this side here. And this side. Alright, so just like that, we're all ready to go. So we're just going to put it on again. Like I said, you just check it out, make sure everything fits where it's supposed to be. And then I'll take that back off. Get my tape runner here. And you could, this is the same type of concept. And okay, I thought I ran out of tape runner for a second. You could do the same thing for if you were doing lotions or anything like that. It don't have to be the high tops. It could be the soaps that's more like this, and you don't even have to have the wrapper. You could just do this. I've seen tons of people do it like that. And then once I get it like this, and what I like too is these kind of slide on and off, so that way they can kind of see the inside. So, but I like these ones for the shipping. You know, but if you had them down at like the little store, you may not want something like that to cover unless you have it so they can pull it on and off, like I said. But I just love the way that they came out. I think they look super cute. Let me try to get this up there without it being shadowing. But the lettering on it and everything came out really good. I do not know what I got this ink from because it's not rubbing off of these. I don't know if it was that Cricut pen or what I was playing with. But anyways, so I'll go through these one more time, just kind of showing you guys a little bit of how it looks. I really love the way this one came out. Like I said, that came out really cute with that one. And then, like I said, just the different colors, the way that it looks with the different colors. But I just love the way these came out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button down below and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one.